Marvin Wyman, do you agree with that point of view in terms of what our guest stated?
Yes. Yeah, I don't think the United States is going to have much of a role here in determining the outcome of this political nightmare that Pakistan seems to be facing. Let me say, though, about the military, that I think we have to look at the military here and what they would like to see. My impression is the military is not anxious to see this government fall. It would rather that it continue on this way, just as we've thought that the opposition felt that with all the problems that the country is facing, that it would be better to have a weak PPP government than to have to take responsibility themselves. But I agree with the gentleman in London that if the military, which I believe is reluctant to step in because, after all, it doesn't solve these problems itself, as it's demonstrated when it's had power, but the military does not think that an election would be in the best interest of the country, and that's probably the case. So I believe that what we'll get here is some muddling through over the next few months at least. There probably won't go to the end of the term of office of Zardari before we do see a new election for the parliament, but I always have to factor in what the military is going to see in its own interests, and at the moment I think it would rather not have the responsibilities of power.
My question to you, Mohammad Shafiqur Rahman, the current government, will it last until 2013? Our guest in Washington seems not to think so, or is Zardari on his way out?
Yes, I won't comment right away on Zardari because, you know, this comment, it is wishful thinking that it will complete its term till 2013 because their realities on ground in Pakistan are absolutely different than, you know, what people perceive from outside. And, you know,
tell us what those realities are.
You know, realities is price hike. Realities are, you know, these power outages. Realities are, you know, extremely expensive, you know, food items. Everything, you know, joblessness, you know, lack of security, lack of justice.
So have we reached the end of the road when it comes to the people and their viewpoints based on the circumstances, very bleak circumstances that you just stated?
Yes, they are indeed very bleak because, you know, at the moment the crisis is not because of the individuals. The institutions of this country, the prime institutions of this country are, you know, are not working. They are, you know, they're in crisis because top management of these institutions have been put in place by this government.
So
and, you know, they're not delivering.
My point being, again, what's going to save this if it's reached a point where it's becoming unbearable for the people?
You know, people have to change it. You know, we are looking for midterm elections, and they are definitely going to come because the status quo is neither maintainable nor sustainable because we are on a downward slide, and in case it doesn't stop, or we don't stop, or the people of the country don't stop, you know, we are going to end up in a real mess. And we are, you know, already in a mess, but then we are going to be in a real bad mess.
Atif Ali, do you think the current government, will it last until the year 2013? Is Zardari on his way out?
Well, I can't predict, like your guest has already mentioned, but the uniqueness of Pakistan politics is the power to surprise everybody. We have seen what the politics before the assassination of Benazir Bhutto and after her assassination of Benazir Bhutto. So today the Pakistani society is a very changed society. They're desperate for a change. They're young, vibrant Pakistanis
who are very media savvy.
I don't think they will be trusting Nawaz Sharif or anybody in the opposition. We'll see an absolute change in the coming up elections, and I see elections very soon.
Okay. Our guests there in Islamabad, let's continue with the line of thought that you were presenting to us. Is there a chance that there are going to be any offshoot of any of these oppositions? Our guest there in London seems to think Nawaz Sharif is not the answer. That'll be formed. He talked about surprises there. Is there going to be a surprise in that respect, a group being formed that is going to win the hearts of the people in Pakistan?
You know,
but definitely, I see that.
Mohammad Shafiqur Rahman, please.
You know, everybody thinks that Imran Khan, you know, his party Tehreek-e-Insaf is one hope. But you see, he doesn't have that kind of a control on the ground. He does not have that kind of support on ground, you know. in terms of votes or voters, or these election campaigners, and for people who can plan and run election campaigns, because it's a country of 180 million people, so you can well imagine the vastness of these elections. So anyhow, this won't spring big surprises, but there will be some surprises, like these parties like Tehreek-e-Insaf, they will manage a few seats in the parliament, but definitely people of the country will vote for change. Anybody who would deem better, or who would give them hope, or who can take this country and the people of this country out of mess, and people, the people will vote for such a party.
Nawaz Sharif is one of I'm going to come in here because you have discussed rather clearly about the plight of Pakistanis, how grim it looks, the hardships they have. But let's look at the side of the Pakistan government currently in action. I mean, let's look at the challenges. I mean, they're facing that $11 billion in loans. They are facing an inflation rate. They are facing the floods, which is a total devastation almost of the whole country. I mean, these are real challenges. What is to say that a new government in place will be able to tackle some of these challenges? Our guest in London, Atif Ali.
Well, we believe there are two fundamental challenges that we have to face. Number one is external interference into Pakistani politics. Either it's US administration or our European partners, and internal good governance. That we see that there's a time for Pakistan to either rebuild its institutions or declare itself a failed state, and we cannot take a second chance that we can see our whole state drifting towards abyss. And as your guest in London has said, that there are surprises in Pakistani politics. There are 63% of the youngsters are now part of this nation. They are more educated. They are more informed about what is happening in Pakistan, and if they are giving the right opportunity, it's a matter of creating a right environment that's going to bring us the whole country out of the chaos. And I don't think the current opposition or the government has the capacity or the capability to do something good for the people and give them any kind of relief on ground.
Okay, thank you very much, Atif Ali there. He's from the Pakistan Movement for Justice, talking to us from London. And prior to that, political analyst Muhammad Shafiq-ur-Rahman from Islamabad, and we had from the Middle East Institute Marvin Weinbaum, who spoke to us from Washington. We want to thank you, the guests, for watching this edition. Of course, you can always check us out on Press TV Global News. That's on YouTube. From me, Part3, and the entire team, it's goodbye.